Welcome back to the SJSU Spartan football preview show. I know I just said a lot of words and a lot of out of order, but that's because we missed last week due to some technical difficulties. I do apologize. We had some kinks with the YouTube channel in terms of getting it uploaded, some login issues. We do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We will have the victory. We will have the prediction winner. I promise there's a video. It's here. It's on the computer that I'm using right now. It's just not on YouTube. And look, as much as I know you loyal folks want to see it, it's a preview show. Go read the preview. I believe it was written by Benny last week for the game against the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii. But look, it was a great game last week. Look, we got to Hawaii. The weather was nice. We stayed up late. I almost fell asleep during the game because I had work at 5 a.m. that day. And then I had work at 6 a.m. the next day. So look, I stayed up. You know, I'm a dedicated Spartans fan. You know this. You know Lamar is. You know my other co-host, Derek Howe, is. They're here with me today. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a jam-packed show. We've got a pretty interesting matchup this week, one that I think people are kind of throwing under the radar, and that's San Jose State versus Western Michigan. Now, look, Western Michigan plays in the same conference as the bowl opponents of San Jose State and Ball State last year. And look, Western Michigan has some pretty good opponents, but look, I got to introduce Derek out first. He knows a lot about what's going on. There's some interesting storylines coming into Western Michigan as they come into this game against San Jose State. But Derek, welcome to the preview show.
Howdy, folks. Yeah, we had some slight technical difficulties, but it's okay. You know, it's unfortunately the wonders of Apple. They would rather release an iPhone Max and, you know, help with helpful logins, or Google, whatever. You could lump all those tech companies in together. They probably won't hire me after I said that. But it's great to be back. A group of 5 matchup. Of course, all the eyes of the college football world will be on Wisconsin, Notre Dame. I always say Notre Dame, like Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Disney movie. But it's going to be San Jose State, Western Michigan, and Kalamazoo, Michigan. Of course, the alma mater of Max's favorite receiver, Corey Davis. Hopefully, Zach Wilson doesn't throw 5 picks on Sunday. But yeah, this Western Michigan team, they are really solid. They're kind of built like San Jose State, except they have a lot more firepower offensively. They played a really great game against Pitt last week. They got the win in a very thrilling affair. I believe they played that in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. So yeah, this team's loaded. Of course, Caleb Bell will be the quarterback for the Broncos. 23 touchdowns dating back to last year. And then they got a nice duo of Ladarius Washington, Sean Tyler. 4.93 yards per carry, 7 TDs. So yeah, it's going to be a fun matchup, but this is the X factor. Their head coach, Tim Lester, it was announced earlier in the week that he just came down with COVID. So their defensive coordinator, Lou Esposito, will be taking the reins, and he does have some coaching experience, I believe, in the Division II or Division III, head coaching experience. I apologize, but it should be a close matchup. And yeah, San Jose State against Western Michigan, and the game's on ESPN Plus. I'm sure you've seen, Max and I watch a lot of UFC fights and whatnot. I'm sure Lamar watches Monday Night Football, of course. You see all these Disney bundle. Dave Bautista's been in commercials. So yes, it is real. They are playing on ESPN Plus. I'm sure most of you will find some sort of way not to pay for the fees and, illegally stream it, but that's okay. Well, I should say that's okay. I don't want the FBI on this either, but yeah, it should be a fun, thrilling affair in Kalamazoo in the morning.
Now, look, Kalamazoo is a great place to play football because you can bring your kazoo. Now, I don't know if that's true. I just like saying Kalamazoo and kazoo in one sentence. Look, ladies and gentlemen, he's not in a suit this time around. He's relaxed. He's become more Spartan blue. And that's because he's been stuck with me and Derek on the spear for almost a month now. But his personality is starting to show. You know him as a football head. That's Lamar. Lamar, I know you stayed up to watch this San Jose State game, whether you watched it illegally streamed like I did the USC game. Shh, don't tell anybody. But this is ESPN Plus. I hope you got it because it's a great streaming service. I will say they've got lots of bundles. But Lamar, look, there were some interesting storylines dating back to Hawaii. And I know you want to tie those storylines in and a couple players involved in those storylines, whether that's injuries, team related, whatever that might be, going forward to what you're looking for here against Western Michigan. What you got for me, Lamar?
So yeah, I'm looking for San Jose State to, really get off to a fast start. As they kind of got off to a slow start last week. They only won 17-13, but we definitely look for the scoring to pick up a lot. Nick Starkel has done a really good job this season, spreading the ball around, getting the ball to all of his receivers and running backs. Also, too, the Spartans have to get their running game going really early. There's an emerging star, actually, a key factor on offense, Jermaine Braddock. Jermaine Braddock has 7 catches, 121 yards, and 2 touchdowns so far this season. That's an average of 17 yards per catch. Also, too, junior wide receiver Isaiah Hamilton and freshman receiver Charles Ross leads the team in receptions and receiving yards. So I look for both of the all of those guys to have big games coming into Saturday's matchup. So yeah, just Nick Starkel just has to just play smart, limit the the mistakes, and just get off to a fast start. Trust that defense. Also too, sorry, the Spartans come in with the #1 ranked defense in the Mountain West Conference. So that is a big advantage. I definitely noticed that throughout the first 3 games of the year. So yeah, we just look to get off to some good momentum on defense, create some turnovers, and we should have a pretty good game on our hands.
Now, Lamar, there's two aspects that you touched on that I want to discuss with you here. Derek, we can come back to you later in a little bit, but Lamar brought up some good points, and I want to go a little back and forth with him here. You mentioned here, we'll start with the most recent one, the latter, and that was the defense. Look, in the Mountain West, according to ESPN here, the Spartans are allowing a total of 345 yards per game. 317 through the air, which is a little bit much, but they're only allowing 85.7 yards per game on the ground. Now, this is college football, ladies and gentlemen. That's combined running back, end around, wide out, quarterback, whatever it might be. So they're doing a great job. The defensive line maybe not getting as much quarterback pressures as we remember from last season, but I think they're going up against a little bit tougher competition, bigger physically offensive linemen. And so I think that definitely defense stopping the run kind of creates options. And this secondary has shown that they can get a little givey in the beginning of the game, but they really do a good job shutting it down. Now, the next one I want to talk to you about, and this is offensive weapons. You mentioned Jermaine Braddock really stepping up. Isaiah Hamilton's obviously there, but Jermaine Braddock really has kind of stepped up, starting to be that deep ball threat, and not as much volume as Bailey Gaither as last year, but he's got similar type routes, the deep post down the right side, cutting left to the middle of the field. Obviously, Isaiah Hamilton, case of the Butterfingers, while still catching touchdowns last week. The whole Spartan offense really kind of just didn't look clicked and locked in. Lots of Butterfingers. Derek and you and I both feel it. They did some peanut butter, whatever it might be on their hands. But look, there were some key aspects and some key players missing, some key dependable targets and dependable players that were missing in the Spartan offense last year. One didn't even play. We were very confused on what's going on, and that's running back Tyler Nevin. So we don't know any information if he's going to play or not. But Lamar, I want you to give me if he does play, and if he doesn't play, obviously then the key, I think, that the safety net of Nick Starkel, and that's tight end Derek Dees Jr. And also his backup, Sam Wilson, didn't play. So who's going to be those options? If they do play, are they going to be performing full health? We have no idea. But if they don't play, what are you going to see from Nick Starkel? And if they do play, what do you see from players like Tyler Nevins and Derek Dees?
Yeah, so if we do have Tyler Nevins available, we obviously look for him to, carry the load, be the bell cow like he normally is. But if he's not available, no worries. We do have two or three good backup running backs in Shamar Garrett and also Kyrie Robinson, 2 really good young backs. Also, too, I've noticed that they use a lot of, because of Dees being out last week, they use a lot of more like receiver sets. So maybe they might spread the ball out a little more, a little more to the receivers if they don't have their top target in Derek Dees.
Definitely. Now, Derek, I want to flip this to the defensive side of the ball. We talked about the rush defense being stout this year. I think the secondary has done a very underrated good job. They did a really good job against USC. And I think in Hawaii, they really didn't get Cordero Chavez, I forget the quarterback's name, but Cordero really didn't do, much through the air. A lot of the damage was done kind of in the short passing game, a lot of bending but don't break. What are you seeing? What are the keys for you for San Jose State coming out here against this honestly really underrated team in Western Michigan?
Yeah, I'll touch on the offensive side. Man, that was just Butterfinger Bowl. Maybe they had too much shaved ice or surfing. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was just 50 drops, I think, between both teams that I saw. But, that just speaks to San Jose State. I mean, to be a championship caliber team, you don't need to be on, you want to be on your A game every week, but sometimes you need to win with your C+ offense and the A+ defense. And San Jose State showed that. Rico Tolfree had a big fumble recovery in that game. So yeah, I think it's going to come down to, can the defense lock horns? And I want to see Cade Hall and Viliami Fehoko get on the stat sheet, get some sacks. And I think it's giving credit to the scouting report from Southern Utah, USC, now Hawaii. They're double teaming them a lot. So, those guys need to step up. I know they're getting a lot of quarterback pressures, but, this team, their defense is built around that linebacking core. Kyle Harmon's not going to play the first half. It was just a really questionable targeting call. But they held Chevon Cordero to really just, they limited the big plays besides Calvin Turner running in for the touchdown. So, yeah, and how about Nick Nash, by the way? We didn't touch on your boy Nick Nash. He's a receiver now. I know Lamar's been to, I think, one practice. I don't think he saw that. Apparently he's a receiver now, made some, solid catches. So, just give kudos to him for being a good team player, because I know most college football players, they don't want to leave the position that they came into 4-year ball with. So give credit to Nick Nash for just, learning, running routes, obviously. That's a true football player right there, just anything willing to help the team. So, yeah, I would want to see more from the defense. Nehemiah Shelton had a solid game. But yeah, I want to see more from that D line, especially because they can easily overpower the Broncos offensive line.
Definitely, and that's something. Those are two things that I totally forgot about. Was as soon as you started talking about the defense getting quarterback, I was like, wait, Cade Hall has that targeting first half, I guess, suspension, if you want to call it, disqualification.
Kyle Harmon, come on, Cade's gonna be looking like play, but it's Kyle Harmon, yeah.
Kyle Harmon, sorry, Kyle Harmon had it. I don't know why I said Cade Hall. Look, Cade Hall's got to get the quarterback too. Maybe he was missing for the first half of the last game. We don't want him missing for this first half of last game. Derek, I apologize. Look, I've been at work all day, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be cool, but look, I think you touched on that thing, and look. I think it was a little telling when it comes to Nick Nash that he wasn't necessarily the backup quarterback this season. He wasn't as involved. He didn't have those kind of set plays that he had built into the offense last year. He came in, in that first game against against USC, and that was his first time being on the field, and he fumbled on his first play. So look, I mean, obviously, and then against the first game against Southern Utah, we saw Nathaniel Woods, the freshman, come in when the game got out of hand. And I was a little surprised why we didn't see Nick Nash in there, but maybe they just wanted to get the freshman in game. I didn't think much of it, but with how many routes and how much Nick Nash is on the field, I don't think we see him in the back. I think when we see him in the backfield now, I think it's true Wildcat. It's not, Nick Nash backup quarterback's in to run a play. I think it's going to be a true Wildcat. Like, I think we could see Nick Nash, who's got the build to be a decent wide receiver. I think he could definitely be a wideout. But ladies and gentlemen, I know we've got to get here. We've got to get to the most important part of the show, and that is predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Let me run you through the 3 predictions last week, and then you guys can figure it out in your head who won. Last week, I said it would be 35-24 San Jose State. Way off. Derek, 33-21 San Jose State. A little closer, but not our winner. And our winner was our third member last week and veteran member of this football preview show, and that's none other than Gio Gaxiola with a 35-14 win. He was 1 point off for Hawaii, and the rest, we were all very similar. But Gio Gaxiola is the winner. I believe this is his either second or third win in his career. Derek, your week of fame is over. Your week of fame is over. But
we're all tied at 1, my friends. So
look, it's a new week. Derek, give me your 3 keys and your prediction for this game this week.
3 keys. Number 1, get off to a fast start. I mean, it looked like San Jose was enjoying a little island life, which, I would too, on the campus of Hawaii. But, they just need to get off to a fast start. That offense needs to get off to a fast start. Nick Starkel can't be throwing the ball 50 times unless it's like a shootout, which this game will be. But the running game needs to be more consistent. Kyrie Robinson, did his best to be the bell cow, but hopefully Tyler Nevin to come in and play tomorrow. Come into play on Saturday. And then obviously number 3 is get to the quarterback. I think San Jose State's done a good job of, generating pressure, but they haven't gotten a lot of sacks. They did win the turnover battle, which is good. You love to see that defense making turnovers and creating chances for the offense to go the other way and score. But I have Western Michigan. This one, I think it's going to be a real nail biter. I think the Broncos offense is clicking on more cylinders than San Jose State. So I've got the Broncos 36-33, and SJSU will come back to the West Coast with a 2-2 record.
Now, Lamar, I need your 3 key games, your 3 keys to the game. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. And your prediction for this game. Look, you were the only one to say San Jose State against USC. And look, I don't want to say it wasn't a good look with that final score. It was close. They had a chance, but look, this is your week to redeem yourself. 3 keys and your prediction against Western Michigan, Lamar.
Gotcha. Yeah. So my 3 keys to the game, like Derek said, my first key is the defense. They have to get, that pass rush going. Western Michigan does have a prolific passing offense, so you can't let that quarterback sit back there and just sit there and dissect the defense. So the pass rush has to get going. maybe some exotic blitzes early on in the game. We can get the, quarterback out the game, or, just kind of pressure him up a little bit. My second key to the game is, like Derek said as well, Kyrie Robinson. I think he had like 20 carries last game, but I would like to see, maybe more of a split, especially if we don't have Tyler Nevins back. I would like to see Kyrie Robinson maybe have about 10 to 12 carries, and then have Shamar Garrett maybe have 10 to 12 carries, some nice balance and explosiveness. My third key to the game, I would just say, just have the special teams as well. Also, too, Nick Nash, that was a good point that you guys made. Maybe we can see him line up at receiver and maybe some trick plays early on in the game. That's what I would do as a coach. Try some trick plays. You have a former quarterback out there. He has an arm. Maybe get this defense off balance. But I have San Jose State winning this one. I have a no biter as well. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. Both teams are averaging about a little bit over 400 yards per game. So I would say SJSU wins this one. I would say 35-28. I think they win by a touchdown.
Lamar, you're picking the upset, and you're also picking the over, I believe. The over-under, ladies and gentlemen, 62.5, and I think it's going to be the under. Look, I think this is going to be a high-octane offensive game, but look, Derek, I'm going to have to side with Lamar on this one. I'm leaning SJ.
Oh, my God.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, before I give you my score predictions here, I'll give you my over. I think it's going to hit the under, 62.5. Now, look, although the ESPN's Football Power Index gives Western Michigan a 79.1% chance to win. Look, the line, the spread, according to the number fire and everything the ESPN has, is only about a 2.5 point difference. So I believe that we're all kind of in the right, that it's going to be a very close game. Look, if there's ever a chance for the San Jose State offense to get going, it's this game. And my hope is Nevin's plays. My hope is that Dees plays, and even Olsen plays. They've got some plays worked in for him. Look, I think it's going to be higher scoring. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as you guys are. And usually I'm the one the highest score. Look, I agree. I think it's going to be a nail biter. And I think our boy Matty Ice, Matt Mercurio, is going to get the job done. Derek, look, you have the Western Michigan kicker winning this game. No, I'm going Matt Mercurio taking the dub. I got a 28-25 win. That's right, 20-25. I'm going with a weird secondary score, 28-25. SJSU win. That's right. Hit the under, ladies and gentlemen. But look, this has been the Spartan
Max,
football.
Sorry, Max. But who said that I had the Western Michigan kicker win? Could it be a touchdown? You never know, brother. That's
you
football.
Said 3 points. I'm an assumed kicker, Derek. You know me.
Oh, yeah, you did assume nothing. I'm not poker here. I don't have sunglasses on like Phil Hellmuth. But folks, the game is on ESPN Plus, not regular ESPN 2, 3, News, Deportes, ESPN Plus. Get the bundle. I'm advertising for Disney. And the game starts at 11 a.m., not p.m., a.m. So 11 a.m., you can get up early, watch College Game Day. The Ryder Cup's on. Oh, my gosh. So you can have like 3 different screens like I know Max has. We're at the MLB The Show with Benny the Jet Garcia.
Look, that's only in times when San Jose State football's not playing, Derek. When San Jose State football's on, I got the big screen right next to me. That's where the game is. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Spears Spartan Football Preview Show. Pretty interesting and big game coming up. Look, ladies and gentlemen, this should be up in the morning tomorrow. I unfortunately do have hockey practice, team pictures, team photos tonight. So I'm going to get this recorded and edited and ready to go uploaded. To technical difficulties should be out of the way. I'm going to figure that out right after this. So we should be good to go. But ladies and gentlemen, for Lamar Moody, the football head, and now showing blue, less suit. He's living his dream now. And back at the Owl Palace, Derek Owl. This has been the Spartan Football Preview Show for Max Miller and everybody at The Spear. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, at The Spear SJSU. Check out our website, thespearsjsu.com. Give a read to all of our articles. Give a read. We've got a magazine coming out in the works. We're not releasing too much stuff, but this has been the Spartan Football Preview Show. Thank you, everybody, for listening on Spotify.